But I'm particularly curious. I think the main point is Arbiter, that I would like to talk about there. There's two things. It's like Arbiter is a little bit odd when it comes to defense, where he's
Mhm.
sort of, as a hardcore player, I feel I should just drop all my defenses for the most part and try as hard as I can to one shot the boss, because it's very different than a lot of the other bosses where a lot.
So, if you need to drop all your defenses and one shot him, right? Then there's two things. One, either you're not good enough at the fight yet, right? Or two, he has too many things that you can't tank, right? I don't think there should ever be too much of a reason if you're good at a fight to drop all your defenses, right? But it's 100% because there is something in that fight that he's just not good enough to do, right? That's it, right? And I've had it many times that we do it in World of Warcraft as well, where there is this one overlap that you're supposed to be able to do, right? But it's just difficult. So instead, we just fucking throw damage at it, right? So we skip it. Yeah? That's exactly what this is. You look at a mechanic, you evaluate, am I good enough to deal with it? No, I'm not. So I'm going to throw the fucking sink at it, right? Like, there are so, and it happens a lot in World of Warcraft with raiding, right? Where it's like, okay, we need to skip this overlap by facing the boss, by killing the boss, whatever. So we're gonna take a healer out, right? Make everything else harder in order to just not do this, right? And that's just a part of fights, I think. That's good, but if it's literally I need to one shot him, the first ability he pops out is too difficult for me to deal with, then obviously there's a problem, but or you're just really bad.
Of the moves are tankable. Like I'm running boss service on Arbiter right now, and I sort of just like respec into the more damage I can get. So I do like one hit on Arbiter basically, and he's gone. Because I've tried really hard to tank it, and even right now I have like the companion absorb damage thing, and I don't think I can tank a meteor still. And I think a lot of the meteors make sense not to tank, right? They're quite telegraphed, but he does have that one in stage 2, the move where he does like the fake.
But like, it's like, isn't the meteor a thing that you just absolutely should not tank, right? Like, am I? I don't remember the Arbiter so well because I creamed him so quickly. The meteors are the things that like what the meteors are. They're not meteors, are they? Isn't it like the circle you run into and then everything else explodes? Is that what he calls a meteor? It is, right? And then he does the beam, and you have to. I've never done this because I killed him too quick, but you have the safe spot. Then he does the beam, so you have to move out of the safe spot and into the like dodge the beam and then into the safe spot. I assume you could also just wait with moving into the safe spot until the last second, right? And bait the beam outside. This is a classic fucking World of Warcraft mechanic where the thing comes in, bait thing, then move to to safe spot, right? This is such a classic thing, and it should not be an issue. That is a skill issue. It's like, oh, you're telling me I can't tank this thing and completely trivialize it? That is literally what he wants, right? Like that. This is so out of touch to me. It's so like I just want to trivialize everything because I play 16 hours a day, right? Like this is a skill fucking check. It needs to be there, right? Like this is the thing you have. This is the fight. This is the thing, right? Am I cooked? I can understand if the timing's not okay, and afterwards Mark does say something about lowering the fucking lowering the action speed makes it impossible, right? But they've addressed that, right? But am I cooked when I think that this is supposed to just be the fight? Right? Like this is it's dude, I've done enough mythic raiding to know boss has 4 or 5 abilities, whatever, deal with abilities, and then as the fight progresses, there are certain overlaps that happen, and you have to deal with the abilities while the overlap happens. And one of the classic thing is dodge a bait beam or bait big circle or bait whatever damage, right? And then quickly hide from other damage, right? It's it's such a clear mechanic every time where it's like, oh, big bad thing is coming, but if you go too soon, you're gonna die because another big bad thing is coming, and that even though we show you this one first, this big bad comes first, right? Like it's just trying to bait them to make a mistake, and it's part of the fucking fight. But no, I want to be able to just fucking tank the meteor. No, if anything, he should be able to tank the beam. No, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the beam is the bigger bad, but like, I don't feel like you should be able to. If I know what he means when he says meteor, that shit is so telegraphed. You should not be able to tank it.
Out beam, and he goes the in out. That also is like a one shot that is, if you've practiced it a lot, I can do it now, but it is like, it just feels a little bit off to me. That
is Zizaran just not a very good gamer? He's practiced this a lot. Is it really hard, or is he not a very good video gamer? Because ARPGs, generally speaking, isn't that much about raw skill. They aren't. They're not raw skill, right? It's a spreadsheet, and if your spreadsheet says you win, right? That's ARPGs in a nutshell. There's very little, generally speaking, skill expression in ARPGs. Like, obviously there's a bit, right? Obviously there is a bit where you have to position yourself correctly, but PoE 2 has added a lot more because you dodge roll certain things, and you're supposed to dodge roll at the right time, right? They added you, they gave you a few Elden Ring mechanics to like deal with, right? Where it's like, yeah, this is gonna kill you if you don't dodge roll, right? And also all of the like mechanical difficulty of let's say PoE 1, right? Where you have to click a certain spot, it's way easier with WASD, right? Like, way easier. Like, is he just not very good at games? Is that the case? It might be. That's okay. But what he's describing, now I haven't gotten there because I killed him too quick, I think. But what he's describing, if I know it's coming, if it's telegraphed well enough that it's coming, that sounds super easy to do. Just in out, right? Like, absolutely bog standard thing to do in World of Warcraft. You're never going to get a cutting edge if you can't do this. Now, the timing might be really difficult. Again, I haven't seen it because I killed it too quickly. If the timing is super tight, then I agree it's probably too difficult. But if it's literally you walk out, he does the beam, and you roll back in and then it explodes, if you have like a second or two, that should be plenty.
It doesn't feel like there's much I can do to survive one shot in the fight. Just curious how you guys feel about that. Or actually, I'm curious, how do you feel about the fact that I, as a hardcore player, feel incentivized to drop my defenses for more damage?
Dude, there's a difference between incentivized to drop defense to get more damage and incentivized to drop all my defense to get damage, right? Now, in a good game, you should never be able to drop all your defenses for damage and survive, right? But an incentive to drop some defenses to get more damage, that sounds great to me. Like, I don't think you should be able to survive if you drop all your defenses. And obviously, if Arbiter is just, yeah, your defenses don't matter. If you get hit by anything, you're dead. That's probably a problem. But, yeah. You have one here. A link.
Why is the camera stupid? Let me like have a good like angle.
Is this Arbiter of Flame, right? It's not Arbiter of Ash, yeah. It's not the new guy. So that's the beam, right?
What is this? Is this safe? I don't know where I'm supposed to stand. Lol.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest. This mechanic here.
Lol.
Where was it?
Lol. What is this?
I died to this the first time because whenever I see a circle, I move out of it. PoE 2 has a lot of circles move in.
Is this safe? I don't know where I'm supposed to stand. Lol.
This looks so fucking easy, bro. And he's so slow. Is that his? Oh, that's his. Now look, if these little shitters one-shot you, it's a problem. Surely that beam is not gonna one-shot you either. Dude, there's no way that beam one-shots you, right? So if you're tanky enough, that's the beam, right? So if you move in last second, you catch a bit of the beam, you should be fine. Right? This beam here is a long channel, right? Look, bam, right? And so you have to be out of the beam, and then what he's saying is, right, there's a meteor thing, and he beams inside the meteor, and you can't be in there. Let's see if the overlap shows up. Fake out is mean, but he's gonna do it.
What is that?
I would call that the meteor, but he survived getting hit by that shit. What is this?
This is death.
Dude, I've never seen this. What is that? He fucking just tanked it. The timing is rough. Let me see, how long does he have? So he has about a second. Now the question is rough, you gotta roll in last second. Clearly you don't, because he just fucking stood in it, right? Boom. And also, it's ticking damage, right? So he took the entire thing. But if you roll in now, right, for the last tick, you'll still be fine. Right? So not only did he tank the entire fucking beam, right? Look. Full HP in there. Right? I know he's spamming his potion, but he tanked it. So you can. Right? He tanked the entire thing. Now the question is, when he does this, does he aim it at the player or does he aim it at the place, right? Because if you don't run in here instantly, right? He probably has Giga Armor versus Fire, and the beam did... Did you have Armor versus Fire when this was active? I don't think you did, right? Is it this season? He aims at the ball. Okay, so you can't bait it. Okay. But you can clearly tank it. And again, you see, it's not a one big blast. It's a degen, right? So if you roll in early, you'll just take a few ticks and you're probably still fine. But sure, that was mean. I think that one's probably a little bit meaner, actually. What is that?
Wait, that's it?
Okay, I mean, I think if that's the issue, then you're being a little bitch. If you have an issue with that thing, you're being a little bitch. Like, it's not a one shot. It's a degen. So if you roll in last second and use your potion, you should be fine, right? That's the issues he's talking about. Yeah, I think that looks okay. It might be a little tight, right? But I think that's okay for a pinnacle boss. It's one of those things where you should know what's happening, right? You should see what he's doing. When he does this with the sword, you should know what's coming. So you fucking walk out, and then you should know I need to get in really quickly afterwards, right? To be fair, the beam kills most characters. You're kind of shocked you tanked it there. Oh, for sure. Absolutely. I guarantee you it will kill most characters. But again, Sis is saying that he should drop all his defenses, right? Because he can't tank this overlap. And he clearly can, right? Clearly you can tank the overlap. We just saw it, right? Clearly you can. So dropping all your defenses because you cannot tank the things is just not right. The donut circle things you can't tank? Yeah. So he wants to tank the untankable shit, right? Which is like, asking to be able to tank the fucking donut is insane to me. Now, asking to be able to tank the beam is fine. Although, I think you should just play the mechanic, right? And if you just build your character so that you can tank half the beam, right? Not all of it, but half of it. All of a sudden, that mechanic is free, right? Because the tankier you are, the larger your window for dodging back into the circle is, right? Because you can live the beam. Now, Alkaiser just tanked the entire beam, so we know it's possible. But if you're as tanky, imagine you're as tanky as Alkaiser, you know it's coming, and you roll in like 3 ticks before it ends, because you want to be sure you're in there. Like, free fucking W, yeah? So yeah, I think the argument he's making here is fucking stupid. And this is one of the things that I think he does that I don't like, right? Where it's like, I want to be an unkillable god, right? And that's fine. But it's not good for the game if you get that.
Yeah.
However, circling back to Arbiter of Ash, which I know is your initial question, again, I am of the personal opinion that I believe that skill-based one-hits are fine. I like
they're
them.
the well telegraphed.
I agree with that.
There needs to be a specific thing. But just to be clear about this as well, like it is the expectation that if you're playing hardcore, you probably can't just walk into a pinnacle that having never seen anything about it before and expect that you're going to be able to dodge everything flawlessly, because like there are things you will have to know about. So what I'm saying, I guess, there is that like it is the expectation. Like, so if you're playing Sofka, obviously then the expectation is you don't have to research the boss. You can just walk in, you're going to die a few times, and then it's going to be okay, right? Obviously in hardcore you can't deal with that, right? So you're going to have to research the boss to be able to deal with it, because there are long telegraphs of things that you need to be able to dodge properly.
If they don't make it so that hardcore characters, generally speaking, fail on their first, second, third try, right? Then the boss is going to be too easy. If you go in blind... God damn it, I have to close this door. If you go in blind on hardcore and you fail, right? And you don't fail, and it's your first time, you're completely blind, right? Then the boss is just not difficult enough. Or you go over gear, I guess, but that's my take.
And so yes, you do need some of that stuff.
Yeah, I agree with that. And
Yeah, I mean-
that is the boss I'm farming right now. It was more the question of the fact that I feel like I should be dropping all my defenses. Because
I mean that definitely doesn't seem good for sure. Like turning yourself into a glass cannon like that doesn't seem right. But the question is, what can we do about it?
yeah, it's a tough one. Because like Maven in PoE1 has a lot of one shots, right? She has like the brain blast and failing the memory game, which feel very telegraphed. And actually, that's one of my favorite bosses. I really like Maven. Whereas like the Arbiter, it feels like almost everything is a one shot. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like it's pinnacle move that's one shotting me. It feels like almost everything one shots me. And
What? We just watched Alkaiser. He tanked the entire beam. What the fuck are you on about? What? He got hit by the guy's big fucking blast from the sky. Like, not the meteor, right? But he flies up and he goes down and slams the entire ground. He does it like 3 times. The 2 small ones and a big one. He got hit by the big one. And he was fine. the fuck do you mean? Was he just overgeared as fuck, or definitely tankable? The hell?
I personally, I'm a big fan of like some sort of debuff. So like if you've invested a lot, like say 90 fire rest and you have 5k life, maybe you should be able to tank 1 meteor, but not 2. Like it comes with a big debuff.
Bro.
Something like that.
I mean, possibly. I was more thinking outside of those two skills. Do you think he's balanced?
Yeah, it's mostly yes.
Okay, so if you weren't capable, I guess that's the risk of going full glass cannon anyway. There is, if you weren't capable to kill him before those things happen, then you would have to deal with his other abilities, which would obviously be rough. But okay. I mean, I don't want to say these things are perfect, and we've obviously iterated on them, but however, I do really enjoy doing the fight.
Dude, this is so... He says everything one-shots, and then it's actually only the 2 things that should one-shot, and he's like, no, I want to be able to tank the one-shots. Like, bro, stop. I'm a big fan of debuffs where you can tank 1 meteor. Bro! No! You're a big fan of winning, so you want to make it easier. That's the thing. No. Like, if they're unfair, increase the timing, right? If the corridors are too hard, yeah, they made them spawn closer, right? If they're still, so that's a fix. If they're still too hard, just give us like a quarter of a second longer on them, right? The same with this like beam mechanic. If it's too hard to dodge in after the beam hits before the meteor hits, just give us like a quarter of a second longer to do it. Right? Rather than be like, nah, just ignore mechanic if I'm tanky enough.
Which is why I'm like, I don't know, like, I understand these things are always divisive, but it can be that it's different. Like, okay, now that it's, you know, a mid boss in the quest line, for example, of the end game, I could see a need for some changes for that specific version. But if someone wants to build their character a specific way to optimize killing a specific boss of which they are specifically target farming, I am 100% okay with that as well. Okay. That being said, I understand it's distasteful that it's just get as much damage as possible, sacrificing everything else at all costs. But technically, every fight is that to some degree. Like, you just insta-phase everything, and everything's completely fine. So, like, it is a tricky question, and I don't think in that case it's even necessarily specific to Arbiter of Ash. I think I agree on most.
Dude, this is just such a player. I ruined the game for myself. Now fix it. Right? Like, that is literally what it is. I ruined the game for me. Fix the thing so I don't ruin it for myself. Bro, you could just not go one-shot it and actually fight it, right? You could just not be like, I need to be super fucking efficient and blah, 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 right? You could just not do that and go fight it, right? I feel like I'm incentivized to spec all damage and then, but you could just not and then be good at the game and kill it. Instead of being like, yeah, I just need to cheese it because I can.